Heroes of Fantasy. It is I, Dick Thunder Lips, here to bring you the DTF report. And we're going to start things off hard and fast, just like Dick likes it, as we take a look at two trades that went on last week before the action even happened. So before Dick can give you the old recap-a-roo, we got to take a look at these transactions that went down in the league. First of all, at the very bottom, you will see Babalu traded his boyfriend, the big cheese, Aaron Rodgers, to our reigning, defending, undisputed champion, Adrian and Tyree, for Derrick Henry. You gotta like the move for Babalu to solidify the running game. And you gotta question why Tyree wanted to be a Bears fan trader and embrace the big cheese. Well, he's done it, folks. The man's found a QB. He's now a cheese-loving Green Bay fan, and it's all downhill from here, folks. Now, on the other side of that, Babalu, embracing his Chicago roots, decided to trade for the Bears defense and Marquise Brown from old Danny Boy for DJ Moore. Yes, Mr. Trudeau was looking for a little upgrade at wide receiver and decided that he could punt with the Bears, and Bob said, you know what? I'm done being a Packers fan. I'm going to be a Bears fan now. So we have a little switcheroo, a couple traders in our midst. But hey, in fantasy, you'll stab your favorite teams in the back for that fantasy W, folks. That strap's on the line. It's serious business. And if Adrian's got to scrape that Bears tattoo and get a big block of cheese on his arm, so be it to keep that strap, Jack. Now, normally I start off with the standings, but let's instead look at those matchups from last week and how the action transpired. And then we will reveal the new standings after that. Let's take a look at the box scores from last week. Dun, 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 dun. Imagine the NFL Films music is playing in the background as we see, sorry about your damn luck. Old Danny Boy took down Aldo's team. This is madness indeed, as Aldo, who is on a wrecking cruise of a scoring streak, but had run into tough luck, finally had that wrecking crew run out of gas, baby. Alvin Kamara did not play. Brandon Cooks like a poopy shell of the stains that used to be Aldo, as Aldo falls 105.7 to 94.4. We take a quick look at the bencharoos as Jared Goff finally getting the job done. Not much else from Danny Boy, but just enough solidified around him to be able to give him that juice to get over the hump at 105.7. A little sad Jamal Williams on the bench. Aldo, little Tyler effort. And if it weren't for the Patriots defense, Aldo's team might not have had a pulse at all, folks. Aldo falls to 3-5. Tough luck. But sorry about your damn luck, as Danny Boy goes to 6-2. Now moving right along, we've got the big cheese, Adrian, who just pulled off the trade, facing off against Babalu. Yes, they traded. It ended up being better for one side, folks, at least this week, as you'll see Derrick Henry only dropped 7.3, but Aaron Rodgers is still high on that cheddar, dropping 27.1, and leading Adrian's now quarterbacked team to victory 137 to 100.7, as Bob falls to 4-4 after all those moves, and Adrian goes to 5-3 and just can feel that strap, that championship title. Maybe it's going to stay home after all, folks. We'll just have to wait to see as the year continues to roll on. But if Adrian keeps getting solid performances out of his players like Leonard Fournette and DeAndre Hopkins, it's looking good. It's looking good for that trainer, Adrian. Babalu, things are turning around, still looking good. Drew Brees is back, baby. Trust in the breezy one, and all will be fine. Remember to wheel and deal, folks. You gotta get yourself out of that funk. Maybe sometimes you shake it up with a trade. Maybe El Ezekiel is looking to do that after he fell to Ricky G's Infinite Tsukuyomi team. 140 to 71.1 in the matchup of ironicness. I don't know if it's irony or not, but Dick's going to call it like that, folks, because Dick does what he wants, Daddy-O, and Ricardo scored a poop-ton metric on to poor Freddy's team Freddie's team demoralized, decided we're not even going to score over 80, folks. Screw this. We quit. No one put up zeros, but no one achieved. He had a bunch of dudes on bye in a week where he probably would have lost anyway, as Ricardo proceeded to shit on his chest as Latavius Murray for the second week in a row did his best Alvin Kamara impression, and boy, Godwin, coming off cold from the bye, didn't matter as Ricardo's team continues to cook it up with Dalvin Cook's hot performance of 28.1 points, and these two teams going in opposite directions, 6-2, 4-4. Action rolls on, baby. We see here the Forces female striking back with a $157, but the real Flash Gordon. Just when you thought Ricky G's score was hot, wait till Steven Nailmore gets done with you. His team finally putting it together, folks. Drops almost 200 points on poor innocent Crystal. Crystal still scored well, but it's not enough. As Steven said, no, I will have a W this week. As we see Tom Brady still drinking that hot sauce, baby. Christian McCaffrey still a one-man team. And Juju finally showed up for Crystal, but Steven Nailmore's team just all over the place. Aaron Jones and Mike Evans put the team on their backs and said, you know what, we're getting the dub this week, boss. And they did it. You see some goo on the bench too. Miles Sanders, he could have put in Miles Sanders blind and still rolled poor Crystal. Well, so maybe this is it. This is where things turn around for old Steven Nailmore. Keep putting up those hot ones. You won't lose many weeks like that. But we go from that super performance where Crystal's got to be salty for scoring 1,000,000 points and still hanging an L, to poor Matt Segovia, who lost by just a couple points to Jay Sizzle, as Patting Julio Johnson loses despite scoring 107 to 109.9. As Jay Sizzle goes to 6-2, Matt falls to 4-4. Russell Wilson, a very game replacement for Pat Mahomes, but it just isn't enough. Julio Jones says, I'm going to try to carry you, boo. But it didn't matter because the Bears finally said, we're going to run more than 8 times this game. And David Montgomery, well, he scored more than 8. And as a result, Jay Sex got a W, folks. Moving right along here, as we see the Professor face another tough loss at the hands of Al's avenging team. Al finally scoring, better than normal 151, finally putting up some points of relevancy thanks to Daniel Jones doing some van damage and the return of Saquon Barkley. That's right, folks. Oscar had a decent bye-week replacement with Mason Rudolph, but the underperformance of too much of his team just cost him here. Buffalo Bills not putting it up like they were earlier in the year, and the punishment on Keenan Allen, he's still not doing it. Only 12 points for Keenan Allen. It was a rough one out there, folks. It's looking like a bumpy road ahead for both of these teams, but Al said, no, not this week. This week, I'm hanging the W. I gotta do something, hanging in there. That's right. And Zacharoo finally picks up a win since the trade, 149.9 to 94.8. He didn't need all those points against CJ's pathetic team, but he did it anyway. And everybody hurts sometimes. He still hasn't changed his name, but boy, did he pick up the W, going to 4-4, dropping CJ to 2-6. And as you can see here, Kyler Murray didn't pull his weight, but Tevin Coleman just said, you know what? I got this. He said, Michael Thomas, let's go. We're taking you right to victory. And the former Bear Jordan Howard's like, I guess I'm relevant this week. And that was enough to beat CJ's team, who doesn't have a pulse even if he wanted it to. I don't even know what he's doing, folks. It looks like he's putting his lineup in, but it just has no heart. Just got no soul. CJ, you are such a slacker. It makes Dick limp looking at your team. Do some trades, get some sauce out there. Tell Melvin Gordon he's supposed to be good. Tell Tyreek Hill to call me back when Mahomes is in. Boy, oh boy, CJ, your team is just super average. I hate you. Now, with that in mind, let's take a gandaroo at the standings do. Ha ha! Here we go, folks. you'll see the Hot Chub Time Machine, the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and Sorry About Your Damn Luck. Sitting atop the mountain at 6-2. Right below them is the resurgent Tyree and Adrian Championship team at 5-3. They don't want to let that belt go, folks. But the real story here is the dearth of teams sitting at 4-4. And right below them, 3-5. It's still anybody's ball game. These go on a hot win streak, you're in, baby. Teams dropping 1,000,000 points this week. Keep it up. And you know you might be raising that belt at the end of the year. Meanwhile, CJ's pathetic squad finds itself at the bottom. The professor embarrassed to have the same record as CJ down there. But hey, somebody's got to do it. But hey, remember, we still got the bowls to look forward to. Don't quit tinkering and improving those rosters, because you could still win it at the end, baby. Even if you don't make the playoffs, you win that Battle Royale bowl of death and doom and destruction. Get some of that moolah back, baby. If you look at the highest scoring team, still Crystal at the top, Aldo still number 2, Steven Naramore still at the top despite his poorest record, as is Matt Segovia. Just crazy, these teams scoring so well, but this is why we play head-to-head, folks. Anything can happen, keeping it fresh. As you'll see, the teams at the top of the mountain aren't necessarily at the top of the mountain in scoring. They just do it when they need to. Pep talk those little digital hearts into trying harder right when it's needed most. And as you'll see, the teams that are most scored against, it's no shock to see poor Aldo, Crystal, and terrible CJ. Even if CJ was doing better, he'd probably still be terrible. Professor also in the loop, and as you can see, Steven Naramore, Matt Segovia. Recipe for disaster, folks. It's amazing. All it takes, the teams at the top, very similar points for to points against, just squeaking out those dubs, folks. And that's why every member of your lineup matters. Aldo might have picked up the dub if he got Chimera out of there, baby. Anyway, this exhausts Dick so much, I can't even right now. Let's take a look at the big previews for next week. Assuming we don't get too many traderoos going. We're running around the bye weeks here, folks. Let's take a look at the previews for next week. We've got Danny Boy probably going to mop up poor Al. Should teach him a lesson. Al, will you score more than 100 this week? We'll find out. Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, in an infinite Tsukuyomi. Make that baby shark disappear into the void, Ricardo, so I never have to hear it again, please. As Babalu faces Ricky G in a battle of top teams. This is dangerous. This is a slippery slope, folks. Bobs needs that dub. He needs to hang a big dub, stay in the playoff hunt. But Ricky G, he could taste the title, baby. CJ facing Aldo. This is most assuredly another loss for CJ. Aldo, don't worry. You could bench Chimera this week and still beat CJ, since he doesn't score over 70 basically ever. Meanwhile, the Professor is going to have to get his A game in place as he faces the whore McWhore himself, Jay Sizzle, the Hot Chub Time Machine. Jay Sex has been scoring well. Of course, he is projected for 0 this week. So all the Professor has to do is, in fact, play one dude, and he'll probably win. But numbers on everything, so don't trust him. Meanwhile, Steven Naramore wants to continue that win streak. But so does Adrian. The Big Cheese and Adrian will face off against Steven Naramore's The Real Flash Gordon. Steven Naramore just hung 1 billion points last week. Can it continue? We'll find out next week. In a battle of teams fighting for relevancy. And Zach and Matt Segovia, 2 of the most divisive teams in the league, scoring well, getting shit on, wheeling and dealing on Zach's end. Will he change his team name? I don't know. Probably not. But these 2 teams will play. The winner looking toward the playoffs. The loser probably getting ready for that battle royal. These 4-4 teams need to pick up the dub this week. And they're not the only 4-4s, folks. No, you see Crystal's high-octane offense. The Forces female will look to see if the defense will take the field as El Ezekiel gets his dudes back from bye, and we dem boys take the field as Crystal has to somehow root against her own Cowboys to pick up the dub. Heartbreaking week on the virtual gridiron. Now, that's it for this week, folks. Keep the dream alive. Keep on pressing. Keep on trading. Don't forget to do those claims. It's only a matter of time before another running back blows out their knee, baby. Pick up those backups. Anyway, if you have paid your league dues, which everyone has, that's fine. Tip Oscar. Give him more money. And that's it for now, everyone. Just remember, stand tall like Dick. Dick's out, baby.